In this episode, we're talking about how to build a system for your business. Most entrepreneurs fall into the same trap. They do the same tasks over and over. They tell themselves, it's faster if I just do it myself. But what if that habit is the very thing that's keeping your business small? Here's the reality. Without systems, you'll always be stuck in the day-to-day. Your business will always depend on you. So how do you build simple systems that save you hours every week? And that even increases the value of your business? Well, that's what this episode is all about. So let's dive right in. Let's discuss myth number 1. Building systems is only for big businesses with big teams. Well, a business would never go from small to big without systems in the beginning. Systems are what allows you to grow. Myth number 2. It's faster if I just do it myself. Well, it's true, because if you hire somebody else to do that task, it's going to take longer because you're going to have to take your time to train them, give them feedback. So yeah, it's faster if you just do it yourself, right? So what's the problem? The problem is you're working in the business, you're not able to work on the business. And you're just not being patient because in time, somebody else can do it just as fast as you. But in the beginning, you've got to put in more time in order to train somebody else. Myth number 3, systems are complicated and take too long to set up. Well, maybe if you don't really understand what a system is, you probably follow many systems already. Like you know the most efficient way to get a task done. You know how to get the result that you want. There are steps that you follow. So to create a system is simply to document it, write down what you're doing. And if there are steps or tasks that you kind of take two different directions, we'll decide which one is better. Or kind of like an if-then statement. If this happens, I'll go this way, or if this happens, I'll do it that way. It's just mapping it down so that then you can hire somebody and say, hey, will you please run this system? You find somebody that's got the skill set that you need and maybe some experience that you need. So let's say you're hiring somebody to edit videos. Well, it'd be great if they've had some editing experience. They know how to use the software that you use. So then you can train them on your system and they don't have to jump through all the hoops of learning the software or to know if they even enjoy that type of work. Find somebody who does love it, train them on your system. So what's the value in this? Let's just use that as an example. Let's say you're a video editor and you hire other video editors. Why would you want to do that? Well, when you're self-employed, you wear a lot of hats, right? So you're the editor, you might be the videographer, you're also the bookkeeper, you're also the janitor, you're also the salesperson, you're the marketing team, right? And I could list off thing after thing. So you're wearing all these hats or you have all these roles and responsibilities. So what a system does is it allows you to take off some of those hats and you can keep wearing some of the hats that you enjoy the most, the hats that are the most rewarding for you. And some hats or some tasks, those are only minimum wage tasks. But there's other tasks that might be $1,000 per hour tasks. Now, if you can outsource or you can hire somebody to do $1,000 per hour tasks, then that's fantastic. But typically, that's where you're going to allocate your time. But the more time you take back for yourself and assign these other tasks to systems and people who can run those systems, the more freedom it gives you to actually take a step back and be the visionary for the company. You can actually work on the business, not in it. You've heard that before, working on versus in. And it's systems that allows you to do that. Now let's talk about the difference between a system and a project. Okay, you might have a website that needs to be designed for your company. So you're going to choose the colors and the branding and the design features and what is included on the page. And then you're going to design another page and maybe another page. But then after your website's set up and done, there's not really a repeatable system that's going to be done. So this is a project. You might not want to do that in-house. You probably don't want to do that yourself and learn all the ropes of website design. But you could find a good website design service, somebody to hire for that project. But something else that you have in your company that you're doing every single day, every week, every month, you're doing the same thing over and over, that's what you need to create a system around because it's something that you're going to continually do over and over and over. You're going to follow the same steps to do it, and so you can create that blueprint and you can hire somebody to run that blueprint for you. Now, if the situation ever comes up of you selling your business, they're going to look at your systems. They're going to see what training do you have in place if you lose an employee and hire a new one, or really, what does the business look like or how does it operate if you're not in it? If you're not in it and the business continues to operate well, then that's a valuable business. So where do I start if I don't have any systems created yet? Well, I'm going to give you the simplest framework ever. What is something you do over and over? Map it out and write it down. Train a team member to do it. That's as complicated as it needs to be. What is something you repeat, write it down, and then train somebody to do it? So some examples of systems that we've created in my company, when my clients fly in here, there was a system that they followed to create their content in a certain way. So my filming team is ready for that. And there's a step-by-step system we use for the filming, and we film 20 episodes in a day. There's a step-by-step process of how we get that content to my editing team. There's an editing process. There's a thumbnail design process. So my client's content gets produced on time, the same time every time. It's very reliable. It's predictable, and we or they don't have to micromanage anything. So how do you get your team to follow a system? Well, whatever they're doing now, they are following a system, and if you just improve the system, you create a new system, this is their job description. It's like, hey, this is your role. I'm creating a system for you to follow. That becomes problematic, right? So you might need to find somebody else. It's just a matter of having a clear conversation saying we're improving the systems in our company. This is the new way we're doing it. So if you're clear and you let them know, maybe I'll just give you an example, all right? So back in the end of 24, we did a several-month test with several of my clients, and I trained my team on shorts, and we were starting to do an experiment with filming shorts. So I trained my team and I educated my clients as to why we were doing it this way. After several months, we had the results. The results were very conclusive that the shorts that we were creating did not get us the result that we were hoping for. So then we changed the system. We went back to not doing shorts, and I had to let my clients know, and I had to let my filming team know, okay, that was the system that we implemented, but now we're changing it, and we're going back to doing this. We're not doing shorts. So it takes some communication, but when you're the owner of the company, you get to dictate that. You can back it up with some of the reasoning and whatnot. If you need to, you can bring in an outside consultant and they can help implement the new system. One of the best systems that you can create is a system that brings in referral quality leads. Like leads that are warm and excited to talk to you, that they're interested in learning about your services. So that's the system that I use with all of my clients, and I'd love for you to learn that same system. It's called the LEAF strategy. So I'll link to a video right there. If you watch that video, you'll learn this exact system, how you can leverage YouTube videos to get clients from YouTube, ChatGPT, and Google. So yeah, I'll link that video right there. It's called the LEAF strategy, how to rank #1 on YouTube. I'll see you there.